So I've changed my method with balancing my car. I've done some side-by-side testing with separating the rear pod and the main chassis and balancing them separate. I used to balance the whole car without the tires attached, just using the hoodie balancing tools, and it works fairly well, especially with touring cars, but this is a little bit different. And after trying a couple different things, I think I came up with something that makes the car feel much better. So the first time around, separating the two pieces of the chassis, I tried just using the balance tools, and I don't think it's the way to go. I don't think this piece really weighs enough to get an accurate measurement. It's hard to tell where to add weights or which way to shift the motor. Um, so I bought these scales, which actually turn out to be cheaper than the hoodie balance tools. And the first time I used some setup wheels and just hung the entire pod off of the scales and measured it that way. Um, and I think it worked pretty well, but I still wanted to try other things. So considering that these are solid axles and I don't rotate my tires as they wear out, I just let them go. Um, I decided not to use setup wheels, just to use the tires that I use and the gearing that I use, just to make sure to maybe get that extra half a gram. I do know that setup wheels are more true and they, in theory, could give you a more accurate measurement, but I tried it this way and I feel like it works just a tiny bit better. So here's what I did. Instead of hanging the pod off of the scales, I took my piece of glass and attached one of the hoodie setup tools to it just so it wouldn't move around. Um, and then measure everything to where it's as symmetrical as possible so that both wheels will sit in between. I like using this. I think it simulates how the rear pod is attached to the main chassis, and I think it gives a very accurate measurement. So with that, you can just set it onto it, set it in the screw so it moves freely. Turn the scales on, let them tear, and set it as close to center as possible. And you can see I'm about 10 grams off left to right. Um, you can try using weights. Just know that everything you do is, because it's a solid axle, going to affect left and right at the same time. Um, and depending on how far out you put the weights may depend on exactly how much weight is added or taken off. Um, so I choose to move the motor left and right using shims. I think it's a little bit better. I don't mess with motor heat too much. I don't have a problem with that. And I didn't want to add any more weight to my car. I like it right at 1050. And I feel like the car came out extremely balanced. Used to have a little bit of trouble picking up the left tire until the sauce wore off just a little bit and I got into a good groove. But now it works really well. Um, so give this a try. Tell me what you think and share with me your methods. I would like to try other things.